Hello, everyone. We're about to get started, and I have a couple of guests. I see people are raising their hands. I have Pip on the webinar with me today, and she's going to try and answer your questions because we have so many people joining us today. There is no possible way that I can stay on top of the questions in the chat, but please use the chat, put comments, tell me about your experiences before in Edmonton and your experiences in Jasper, and share those with us. But please, at this time, I'm asking you to put your questions in the question box because there's going to be so many people that we're gonna, I think, run into problems with the chat being too long, but that's okay. We want it to be nice and long. I am so excited. I don't think I've ever been this excited to do a happy hour as I am today, because there's so many reasons why. We have some amazing guests with us who've joined us today, and we did this happy hour for you guys, the travel agent community, because we want to support you. And we are so grateful for the support that we are receiving right now. You know, the phones are ringing, we're moving forward. Yes, in some cities, you know, there's higher numbers of COVID cases. That's to be expected. We were expecting a second wave, and that's okay, because we've got some good news too. We've got rapid testing coming in Calgary, and I've heard now Edmonton's next, so, and Toronto. We've got, you know, we're hearing stuff about vaccinations and things like that. So there's some positive stuff, and we're really going to try and focus on all the positive things. And I think the most positive thing for me right now is to be here with you guys to talk about a place, two places that are truly amazing. So before we get started, you can see two people on your screen. I'm going to introduce Katherine Florence first. Hi, Katherine, how are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm well, thanks. And thanks for joining us today.
It's great to have you, Katherine. Katherine's with, it's called Explore Edmonton. It used to be Tourism Edmonton, correct?
Yeah, you're right. Explore Edmonton.
And Katherine is joining us today. She was amazing. They hosted us in Edmonton. We stayed at the Marriott Hotel downtown, and we really, truly delved into Edmonton. And it's such an awesome city. Thanks for joining us, Katherine.
Yeah, and thank you. Thanks to Jasper and to you, Darcie, with Henderson Vacations for providing us with this opportunity. And I really hope that during the course of this webinar, everyone is inspired about our two destinations and inspired to visit themselves and to sell these destinations via Henderson Vacations. So thank you.
Thank you, Katherine. And another good friend is Kevin Henderson. He's with Tourism Jasper, and I got to know Kevin quite well on my first night in Jasper because he was gracious enough to take us to an awesome pub, and I have some stories to share with you later about that. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and welcome everybody to the webinar. And you know, we're just very happy to be working with our friends in Edmonton and working with Henderson Vacations on this, and working with partners that know this destination very, very well. And it was fantastic to see you guys here and host you here.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys. We are going to get started. Right now, we have a record number of 120 participants. We've never had that number. I think people are still going to keep rolling in as we get started. This really was such a treat to be in Jasper, because you know what? I hadn't been to Jasper in, oh my gosh, a long time. I did go through on Via Rail a couple of years ago, but it was just a very quick stop, and it just brought back a flood of memories. So when we had this opportunity, and it really stemmed from the last happy hour. So I know there's a lot of new people on here who this might be your first happy hour, but we have a lot of regulars. And this is our 14th happy hour. So the last one we did was on Vancouver Island, called Island Life. And the feedback was so phenomenal that we shared it with a lot of our partners. And when we shared it with Kevin at Tourism Jasper and Katherine at Explore Edmonton, they got as excited as we did, because they want to work with you guys too and create these experiences that you can offer to your clients. And this is on you guys. It's your job now to let your clients know that you guys are the Canadian experts. You know how to sell Canada. And at the end of all this, as we go through this next season, for winter and for summer selling, all season, all year round, Jasper and Edmonton are phenomenal options for your clients. So please keep them in mind. Okay, so most of you know who I am. My name is Darcie Guarderas, and I'm the Director of Business Development with Henderson Vacations, and I'm the luckiest person in the whole entire world because in order to be able to produce this happy hour for you, I had the opportunity to go there and live it. And I want you to live this experience through the next few videos that I'm going to show you that we did take while we were there. So I'm very fortunate to be able to say I've traveled Canada coast to coast to coast. And this experience was far beyond anything I experienced. And I was so touched and moved by so many things. I even bought a brand new little necklace. It has a little Canada maple leaf on it that makes me happy every time I look at it because it makes me think of this experience. So let's get started. Okay, what's this all about? It's happy hour. So for those of you who are getting boxes, they have not arrived in most cases. Some may have. We will be getting them very soon. There's some surprises in there. And one of the things, I'm not going to give too much away, but the drink of the day today is Jasper the Bear Ale, which is what I have right here. And I'll have a nice sip. I had a taste before you came on, but it's delicious. It's a little mellow, it's sweet, and I've been told that it pairs really well with roast chicken and with grilled fish and tacos, which I love all of those, so I'm sure that that is accurate. Okay, where is Jasper and where is Edmonton? Most of you know where Edmonton is, and it's really the main gateway going into Jasper. So most people who are going to Jasper, they have to start in Edmonton. Don't let your clients go to Edmonton and then get out of Dodge. There's so much there to see and do, so make sure that you work with your client and work with us to create a completely custom package that's really unique to your clients. And it's about a 4-hour drive west to Jasper, and this drive is lovely. It's absolutely fantastic. And you're going to get to see a little bit of that drive as we go along. Okay, so I'm going to start with, there's a couple of videos I'm going to start with. Now, these videos that I'm starting with are actually compliments. This first one is compliments of Explore Edmonton. It's on Edmonton and Jasper, and it is professionally done. I want to stress that it is professionally done, unlike the videos that you will see in the rest of the presentation. So let's get inspired with this wonderful video. Isn't that awesome? So that is great footage. Oops, sorry. Great footage that gets us inspired. A lot of summer images in there, and a lot of stuff I'm going to show you is actually winter stuff because we went in the fall. It wasn't quite winter, but we were so lucky because it actually started to snow. So you're going to get to see lots of snow and things. This was the sort of an overcap of my journey to Edmonton. Of course, we've got the Ukrainian Cultural Center. In the bottom left, you can see a photograph of that, which is not too far outside of Edmonton. There are so many things to do here, and throughout the videos that you're going to see over the next little while, I want you to keep something in mind. The video I just showed you was professional, like I mentioned. The ones that we did were done with my cell phone. So you might run into problems where there's a bit of lag. I apologize, but we are going to send the recording out to you so you'll be able to watch it again. Watch it with other people. Watch it with your friends, with your neighbors, whoever's in your bubble. Share with them, get inspired. I've been sharing it with people around my neighborhood, my friends who are in my bubble, and the feedback is that they feel inspired. They want to go to these destinations, and hopefully that'll help you to sell it in the future as well. Okay, so here's another video, and this video is actually from one of our FAMs. So this is not one of the videos we took this trip, but it's from the FAM that we did last year. I know you're all missing FAMs, so we're really excited to hopefully very soon, when things start to get a little bit better, put some FAMs together, because we know that when you go, you know how to sell better. So let's do a little recap here of this video as well. For any of you who know Jai, our VP at Anderson Vacations, he was actually in that video. You might have caught a glimpse of him in the video. Let me skip to the next one. Okay, so now we're gonna get started with some of the footage that we did ourselves. We really wanted you to experience it firsthand. So we visited a few little spots in Edmonton. So a couple things just for housekeeping to mention again. If you have questions, make sure you put them in the question and answer box, but feel free to put comments or anything, you know, let me know of your experiences you had in Edmonton or your experiences you remember in Jasper. Pip will answer any questions that she can along the way. And if you have a volume thing on your computer, your laptop that's a bit low, turn it up, because as we started on these videos, they're a little bit quieter and they get better as we go. Okay, so let's start with the Edmonton murals. And I always have said this for years, bring in bright colors, paint buildings, and people will come. It's just a happy place to be. So take a peek at these. Oh, give me 1 second, I lost my arrow. Here we go.
Welcome to Old Strathcona here in Edmonton. You've just taken a look at one of my favorite murals. The colors are spectacular, and of course, I'm always drawn to color. It makes me happy. I'm going to talk a little bit about why Edmonton is such an amazing city. So first of all, it has this incredible booming food scene. The chefs here are young and adventurous and have all kinds of wonderful menus that are really creative. Edmonton is also known as the city of festivals. There's over 50 festivals, from wine to even a mural festival, children's festival. There's all kinds of things to do all year round. Now, if you want to see wildlife, you want to head to Elk Island National Park, where you can see plains moose, deer, elk, and over 250 species of birds. And if you're looking for trails in the Edmonton River Valley, there's over 150 kilometers of trails. So you can bike, you can hike, you can even go on a Segway. So it's super fun. And of course, we can't forget to mention West Edmonton Mall. So hopefully we'll have a glimpse of that very soon. Welcome to Edmonton.
How fun is that? I mean, who even knew that there was all these wonderful murals? And there's all kinds of them. You can do a mural walk, and there's stories behind each one of them. So you can find out about the artists that have done each of these murals, which is really fun. The next stop that we made was at the Royal Alberta Museum. And I have a little video on this, but one thing that really blew me away was the architecture of this building. There's something I should mention as well while we're talking about it, all of this, is that we're being really cautious with COVID, of course, and all of the places that we visited were very, very COVID friendly. There's all kinds of safety precautions in place. We felt completely safe. And of course I had to fly because I'm on Nanaimo and Vancouver Island, and I felt very, very safe flying. I can't emphasize that enough. And the planes were not empty. So people are moving, so they should be booking through you. So the Royal Alberta Museum, let me show you what this is all about. But again, the architecture was just incredible.
Royal Alberta Museum, the largest museum of natural history in all of Western Canada. We're in the bug room. This place is amazing for families, for just about anyone looking for natural history, flora, fauna, and I'm here with these creepy crawly things, so take a look. Welcome to Rogers Place in the heart of the Ice District in downtown Edmonton. I'm standing in the Ford Hall. This is the home to the Edmonton Oilers. Go Oilers! And this is also the place where all of the major concerts happen. Anything from Elton John to Garth Brooks and everything in between. And I'm standing here in the middle of this gorgeous mosaic tile that was done by a local Indigenous artist. Enjoy the view.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. Now, I have to tell you, so I hadn't been to Roger's Place before, so that was super cool experience. And we were the only people there, so it was really neat. And so that evening, we went out for dinner, and Katherine was so lovely to take us to this fabulous restaurant. And it was called By Joe. I was calling it by another name, but it's By Joe. So if you're from Edmonton or you're going to Edmonton, you've got to try this place. It's Asian fusion. Amazing food. And there's lots of great restaurants in Edmonton, as I mentioned in the mural video. But what's amazing about this place is we're sitting at a table and there's a china cabinet against the wall, just an old kind of granny looking china cabinet. And Katherine says, do you know what's behind that china cabinet? That's absolutely not. So she called the server over and they grabbed the cabinet and pulled it, and it was a hidden door to this speakeasy hidden bar that seats about 10 people. So it's perfect for little private parties. We tried to take some video in there, but it was really, really dark. But what an amazing surprise. So we went from that restaurant, which was amazing, to across the street to the Neon Sign Museum. So take a peek at this.
Here we are at the Neon Lights Museum in Edmonton. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but of course the best time to come is at night so you can see all of these spectacular lights. Now there's 20 different signs, neon signs from the past that have been restored to showcase the history of Alberta. I have one favorite sign, of course, and it's just above me here. It's called Georgia Baths. Now, Georgia Baths was originally called the Edmonton Steam Baths. And it was created back in October of 1913. And at that time, people used to go here because it was quite luxurious. You go in and have a little steam and then a little soap scrub and then end up with a salt rub at the end. So it was a pretty special thing to do in the early 1900s. Now, of course it's gone, but it's still known as Edmonton's oldest bathhouse.
So that was something I knew nothing about and really interesting, especially after you've gone for a lovely dinner and you can walk outside. It almost feels like you're just in another part of the world. Really amazing. Now we're going to talk a bit about West Edmonton Mall. And you know what, West Edmonton Mall, I don't hear people talking about it a lot. You know, years ago when I was a travel agent myself and I lived in Winnipeg, we used to do these packages that were to West Edmonton Mall all the time, weekend getaways, all the time. There were even flights that went to West Edmonton Mall specifically for mall weekend getaways. So we've put together some amazing tropical weekend getaway packages, and you'll see a flat sheet towards the end of the presentation. But think about this because it's close to home and kids love this place. Families love this place. Let's take a peek.
Welcome to West Edmonton Mall, your entertainment destination. Do you have clients who are asking about getting away this winter, but don't want to go too far, maybe not cross the border, go down south? You can send them here to West Edmonton Mall with all kinds of amazing family activities. There's Galaxyland, where we are now, with fabulous rides. There's Drive, which is electric race carts on a multi-level track. And then you can also do the Flow Rider or the Zip Line. So consider West Edmonton Mall for your clients who are looking for a little weekend or week-long getaway this winter. Have you thought about a staycation for your clients? 31 degrees Celsius indoor adventure at this fabulous water park with 18 water slides. It's a super tropical place to go. No need to go south. Come right here to West Edmonton Mall.
It's a great spot. It is really, really fun. The energy there is really positive. Oops. The Fantasyland Hotel is right inside the mall. And I remember, again, years ago, there being theme rooms. And the theme rooms are great. They really are. I have an 11-year-old neighbor who came over yesterday, and I showed her this video. And she said, I need to go here. So even if you think, oh, maybe this isn't for you, you got to open your mind up to your clients and families and things. So I'm going to show you 3 room categories here, and I'll just sort of talk a little bit while we go through. So this is the space room. Super fun. It's got bunk beds in there for the kids, perfect for families, kind of got that eerie lighting feeling. And you've even got, if you see here, R2-D2 in your room holding towels for you. So really fun. I think lots of kids would love that. This room is the, actually it's a luxury Polynesian room. All of the rooms have a jacuzzi tub, so that's great for couples or for families. Kids love that. This particular room, because it's a luxury room, it's a little bit larger, and it has the large bed for the parents, and then you can see just in a second here, you'll see the bunk beds. Now, one thing I didn't mention at the very beginning of this, oh, let me get to that in a second. This is the igloo room. The igloo room is fantastic fun. Kids love this, but couples book this room all the time too. They love it. So it's a really popular one as well. But I forgot to tell you at the very beginning, I'm sure you're all paying attention anyway, and we do this in every one of our happy hours, but we do have some questions at the end, 3 questions. They're pretty easy. If you miss something, send me a note, give me a nudge. I'm sure I can help you out in case we did miss something along the way. But there are 3 questions at the end of the happy hour. And I want you to take a screenshot of that with your phone so you can answer the questions and win the prizes, because one of the prizes is 2-night stay in a theme room at Fantasyland Hotel, which is so fun. And then also there's a gift pack from Explore Edmonton as well. Let me jump to the next one. Okay, so now we're heading to Jasper. Before we do, I just want to say thank you again to Katherine for being so generous with this. And as before we jump into this, to Kevin as well and Tourism Jasper for those fabulous boxes that are coming out to many of you. This next portion of the video, of these videos, just for me, they're really, really special, and we could not have done this without the support of Tourism Jasper. So this is on the road to Jasper, and look at the weather. Here we are on the drive from Edmonton to Jasper. As you can see, it's quite snowy, but the roads are great. No issues for us whatsoever. But we're starting to get that magical feel that we're headed to vast outdoor wilderness and open spaces. So this is really exciting for me because we're on our way to Jasper. As you can see, it's snowing, which is amazing. And we're in Edmonton, Alberta. We just made a pit stop on our way, and we happened to find the house that my family lived in when I was born. And it used to be a little faux brick house. And in the very back, there's a little garage where at one time there was a bumper of a car that was leaned against the garage. My brother pulled on the chain attached to it. It fell down, and I now have a scar, a teeny tiny little scar on my face that every time I see it in the mirror, it reminds me of this little house, a little memory from my past. So this was really a sentimental thing. We just happened to be driving along, Jai and I, on our way to Jasper. And so we, it was Jai's idea. He said, let's find that house that you lived in. So we went searching, and I got the address, and I found this house, and I was so excited to do this video. And when it was done, I was feeling very sentimental. So I sent it to my dad. I messaged it to my dad. And within a couple of seconds, my phone rang, and it was my dad. And he said, "Kid, I got to tell you something. That's not our house." So I did this incredibly sentimental video in front of some random stranger's house, but it still was really, really fun. And then on our way back, we actually found the correct house, which was across the street. So we were so close, but yet so far away. Let's jump ahead here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so now we're just arriving into Jasper, into the national park. So this is the very beginning. Here we are in Jasper with our first wilderness wildlife sighting. We're just on the side of the road, and we've got some lovely elk right in front of us. Take a peek. And there's all kinds of elk all over the place. So the first time you see them, you're in shock. It's like, oh my gosh, look at all these. And then you realize you're going to see a lot of wildlife while you're here. And this is a great shot. In the background, you can see Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge. And this lake is beautiful. It's a lake, oh, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but you can do a hike around this lake. It's a couple of kilometers long. It's beautiful. It's surrounded by the mountains. And look how calm the lake is. And of course, in the evenings, the mountain views are absolutely beautiful as well. Let me jump ahead here. Okay, I have a quick story to tell you because you know how much I like to tell stories. Okay, so this is the evening that we arrived in Jasper. And this really gives credit to the kind of people that live in Jasper. There's this warm, cool vibe, lots of little pubs and restaurants. There's always something going on. We went into this pub that you'll see later on in the Jasper food tour called Dead Dogs. Now, the gentleman on the right, his name is George Andrew, and the gentleman on the left is Bill. Now, George is 69 years old, and his grandfather started this this bar, which was part of a larger facility, which was a hotel called the Astoria Hotel, which still exists and is still in our lineup, the Astoria. So George runs this, and everything is in the tribute to his grandfather and his father, and it's been passed down in generations, and even his son and daughter still work at the Astoria and Dead Dogs. So it's really cool. We happened to be there that evening when Bill, the gentleman on the left, came inside with this towel in his hands, and he came over to talk to George and return this towel. It turns out that Bill has had this towel for 70 years. In 1950, they stole this towel from the hotel, and they actually brought it back 70 years later to return it to George. And we just happened to be there at that moment when it happened. We took a video, but the video quality wasn't that great, but I just thought it was just an incredible story that happened and unfolded while we were there. Okay, so a little introduction to Jasper.
Welcome to Jasper. We made it. Jasper is a base for adventure. It's a 14,000 square kilometer swatch of untamed wilderness. It's also a designated dark skies preserve and part of a World Heritage Site. So we're going to spend the day exploring Jasper with our good friends from Sundog Tours, and we're going on a tour called Wonders of Jasper. Come join me.
Okay, so that's just the beginning of our day. Now, this happened to be one of the most magical days that I can remember in a very, very long time. Okay, there's this road. It leads out of Jasper. It's called Maligne Lake Road, and it's only 45 minutes from Jasper to Maligne Lake, but along the way, there's all these stops. Now, if wildlife is what you're looking for, it is absolutely remarkable. There's a restaurant that we stopped at the Maligne Canyon for lunch that was fabulous, and it's a must. You have to stop there. So this is just a little example, some photographs of what you're going to see, and then we're going to flip to the next one. I'm actually at some point in this video, I'm going to refer to the moose that I showed you. I haven't showed them to you yet. I'm going to show them to you after this video because I'm really excited about the moose that I've seen.
Did you check out the view behind me? Is this not spectacular? We're starting our tour of Maligne Canyon, and it's a nature, scenic, and geological tour. We're going to cross several bridges, and at one point, it's actually 51 meters deep into the gorge, and a great place to do some ice, walking on the ice floor in the winter time. So hopefully you enjoy this wonderful view, and we'll get going. We are now at Medicine Lake, also known as Vanishing Lake, and it actually drains once a year. So depending on the time of year that you come here, it'll either have very little water in it or it can be absolutely full. Now in the 50s, there was actually a ferry service that went across this lake because there was no road that's now behind me. And because they wanted to use the lake all the time and it was draining, they decided to do something to stop it from draining. So they actually took old mattresses and magazines and stuffed them in to stop it from draining. Unfortunately, that didn't work. But now we have this wonderful spot to stop along our way. Okay, well, my heart is still pounding because not only do we see the 2 moose that I showed you, we saw 6 altogether on our drive from Medicine Lake to Maligne Lake, where you've now just had a great view of this beautiful spot. Now you can come here in the summertime and do a boat cruise or go canoeing on the lake, but it's also an amazing option for winter adventure. You can come here and you can go snowshoeing or cross-country skiing and just enjoy the great outdoors.
Okay, so I said that there was, first I said 2 moose, then I said 6 moose. There were 13 moose on our drive going there and back. So now I'm going to give you a glimpse of some wildlife. And so some of this is a little bit chaotic because when wildlife shows up, it's really exciting. So, you're grabbing for your camera, so there's a bit of movement, and I know there's a bit of lag. I'm just going to text that there's a bit of lag. I apologize for that, but hopefully you'll get the feel of just how much wildlife. And of course, wildlife is not guaranteed. You can't promise your clients that they're going to come here and see 13 moose. We were very, very lucky. In fact, when we were telling people, they didn't believe us. So let's take a peek at some of the wildlife in the Jasper area. That was our first moose that we saw coming out of the bushes.
Wow, look at that moose on the road. Wow, look at that. Oh, we're so lucky on the road. You're so lucky. Oh, we're so lucky. You're so lucky. And here we are again. Look at this mama moose. She's bent down. She's here we are again. Look at this mama moose. And she's bent
Give me
off
1
the
second.
road.
We have some lag here. I'm going to stop this and I'm going to start it again.
Oh, I've just been told it could be a young male because there are baby antlers. So we're nice and close. And we're so lucky. We're staying in the vehicle nice and safe. But we're just so blessed to see this today. Oh, I've just been told it could be a young male because there are baby antlers. So we're nice.
You know what? Sorry, guys. I'm going to jump back 1 slide. And I'm going to try that one from the very beginning. Just be patient for 1 quick sec if you don't mind, because I think it double clicked. 1 sec. I have to be patient. Here we go.
Wow, look at that moose on the road. Oh, we're so lucky. You're so lucky.
And that was a bald eagle that we saw on the side of the road.
And here we are again. Look at this mama moose. She's bent down. She's actually on her knees. And she's licking the salt off the road. Oh, I've just been told it could be a young male because there are baby antlers. So we're nice and close. And we're so lucky. We're staying in the vehicle nice and safe. But we're just so blessed to see this today.
So that's a mama or a papa and a baby walking across the road.
I'll try to pet her. Look who's coming to say hello. I'll pull myself back in the car.
Probably not a bad idea.
Can I close the window? Can I close the window?
She's not going to bite you, but I wouldn't try to touch her. Look at that.
Whoa. Oh, gorgeous.
Now she's licking the back of the car.
No.
So yeah, I was a little bit nervous. I was hanging outside the car, like outside the car as she was coming toward me. And I don't know if you could hear me saying, should I close the window? Should I close the window? And then I just decided to close the window because I got a little bit scared, but incredible encounter. Now look at the mountains in this behind. As we come around the corner here, there just happens to be another moose walking out onto the road. So we got a nice quick glimpse of this beauty as well.
These are Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep. Hello. Just going to say hello to you all.
Oh, these are females.
Thanks for coming to visit us. And these are all females. They're having a little lick of our car for the salt. And as you can see, they're licking the road behind and the lovely mountain view that we leave behind as we've left Maligne Lake.
Yeah, amazing, amazing wildlife. We were so lucky. I think it has a lot to do with timing. It's a perfect time of year to see wildlife because they did just salt the road. So the animals were coming down to lick the salt off the road. So you drive very cautiously, very carefully as you go along. So that's really, really important as well. Let's go to the next one. Oh, let's skip to the next one. Okay, so Jasper Sky Tram is now closed for the season and it will open up again in the spring. What an amazing day we had as we were driving towards the SkyTram. It was a very cloudy day and I was a bit disappointed. I thought, oh man, what are we going to see with all this cloud? And then we went up and we went through the clouds. So I love this photograph because the one on the right, for those of you who work with our staff in the office, the lovely Megan Burry is on the right, I'm in the middle, and then Jai, our vice president, is on the left. So we've got some great footage from up here. So keep this in mind. And again, start thinking about your clients for the spring and summer of next year, as well as winter time. So this is at the, it just came through the clouds and it's coming up. So you can see the clouds below as the tram comes up through the clouds and beautiful mountains. Just magical.
Wow, these views, just a 7.5-minute ride from the bottom to the top of the Jasper Sky Tram to take in views of the largest park and UNESCO Canadian Rockies World Heritage Site. There are panoramic views of 6 mountain ranges, and on a clear day, actually like today, we can actually see Mount Robson all the way in British Columbia. We're hoping that we get lucky and we see some more wildlife up here. We'll be looking for ptarmigan, marmots, and even some bighorn sheep.
It feels like, I think, what heaven would be like, just beautiful.
Yeah, it's not just the views that are so amazing. There's great alpine hiking at the top of the SkyTram. And when you're done hiking, you can actually head back in for a lovely lunch or a nice cup of hot cocoa.
So as you can see, we're now below the clouds. So that's kind of cool because you get 2 views going up below the clouds and above the clouds as well. And it was so great because our good friend Todd Noble from Jasper Sky Tram was there to greet us and took us up. So it was really, really great. We're so grateful for that opportunity. Give me one sec while I find my arrow here. We'll jump to the next slide. Okay, so this looks like I know how to drive a motorcycle. But I don't. But I do love being on the back of one. And in this case, I got to be on the side of one. Now I'm telling you, there is, honestly, this is an experience that everyone should try. I don't care how old you are. I was told that the owner, Stan, who is fabulous, who took me out, and Chris, who was with him, who actually dresses me in the video you're going to see, their average guest is actually in their 70s, and they have lots of Australian women who love this tour. So don't think that you can't sell this to just about anyone. And all of these products I'm showing you can be added to any fully customizable FIT product or groups. We even do groups with motorcycle tours. So this was amazing. Let me show you this video as I'm getting ready. Take note of the fact that everything is COVID safe, very, very safe. There's a little bit of a lax here, a little bit of lag here, but she's getting me all ready. Again, she's wearing a mask, I'm wearing a mask, getting ready. And this is part of the fun. Really fun. I felt kind of cool.
Okay, ready to go. There is absolutely no better way to explore Jasper National Park than with Jasper Motorcycle Tours. Here I am in a sidecar on a Harley-Davidson Ultra. They do 1, 2, and 3-hour tours, as well as a tour to the Icefield Parkway, which is actually a Canadian signature experience. doesn't matter how old you are, you can enjoy this experience to see the park, and there's no better way to have than having fresh air in your face and seeing the mountain views.
Oh my gosh, it was the most fun ever. And if your clients say they only want a 1 hour experience, no way. They've got to do a minimum of 2 hours, because once you're in that sidecar, you just do not want to get out. And it was a bit cool when I was there. And even in the summertime, it can be a bit cool because you're in the mountains. They geared me up in this completely amazing jacket that was, you plug it in, it was heated. So I was warm, I had these gloves, completely amazing. One of the most incredible experiences. You've got to do this. You've got to put your clients on. Again, it doesn't matter what the age of your clients are. Okay, let's jump to the next one. Okay, that was special thanks to this amazing duo that in the picture on the right hand side, you can see it's Mike in the back and Travis in the front. Took us out on Pyramid Lake. Again, this is just an incredible experience.
On our way to Pyramid Lake to go canoeing, and look what we just came up on. A lovely elk, just having a little rest. Special thanks to Wild Current Outfitters. We're on Pyramid Lake doing a canoe trip. Behind me here is Pyramid Mountain as well. This is an incredible experience being out in the water. We're searching for wildlife. We are having a wonderful treat. Look at this lovely spread that they put out for us. And this is what all of your guests will enjoy as well. And this program ends fairly soon because it's now fall, but they do have a winter program as well where you can go snowshoeing on the lake, and then they'll be back to canoeing early in the spring. Canoeing on Pyramid Lake can be an amazing multi-generational trip for grandparents with their grandkids, because the canoe that we're in is completely stable. And it's a handcrafted canoe that's really special. And in fact, the wood that is used to create this canoe, they say that it's actually a 100-mile canoe, because all of the wood has been sourced from within around 100 miles from this location.
So at the end of our canoe trip, there was a fire going for us. So we were able to sit by the fire and warm up, and it was fantastic. And again, this program starts up again in the springtime. It was truly incredible. And you know, I was feeling so blessed, because I'm like, this is my job. I'm out here exploring and enjoying these experiences that that you can offer to your clients. Okay, so if you've been on one of my happy hours before, you know how I feel about food tours. I love them. A food tour is the heart to every city, because, and I always say, do it on the first day. Get your clients to book it on the first day. And our frontline staff, they're always offering this product to you because they know how great it is. So it's a great way to get into the city or the town or wherever you are, find out about these amazing restaurants. Then you can go back to those places over the next couple of days, because you get a little taste and a little sample. So there's a quick little video that I'm going to show you of the 4 stops that we make along the way. Pay attention to that. 4 stops along the way.
Welcome to Jasper Food Tours. We are at Jasper Brewing Co., who actually were so gracious, and they sent the beer out in the boxes to those of you who did receive boxes. We're just starting our tour. We've got a lovely honey ale beer. That was the first beer that was ever brewed in the national park, and we're going to chow down on some amazing elk steak and mashed potatoes. Stop number 2 on our food tour. Lovely glass of wine, some spicy food, and then we're off to the next stop. Cheers. Stop number 3 on the foodie tour. Lovely red wine and a giant. These are called dog bones because we're at Dead Dog. So it's a lovely beefy bone. And this is the final stop on our food tour. We have a lovely coffee-infused vodka, quite a large one, and a yummy hazelnut dessert. Cheers.
It was one of the best food tours I've ever been on. Estelle is the owner of this Jasper Food Tour company, And she was the one that was our host. I think she has 2 other employees. Not only is the food experience and dining, and of course the booze, oh my gosh, 4 drinks, it was crazy. But as you're walking through Jasper, you're hearing the history, the stories, the First Nations culture and things. And she's so exceptional at what she does that we enjoyed every single minute of this. And then at the end, we had a nice warm glow, and we ended up heading out to some other local pubs in Jasper, which was a ton of fun.
Welcome.
Okay, so this is our last video. We're getting close to the end, and then the questions are coming up just after this. Again, if you didn't realize there was questions and you missed something, send me an email, give me a nudge. All of the correct answers are going to go into a draw. This lady is absolutely amazing. She's the warrior woman. Her name is Matricia Brown. She lives in Jasper, and she is Cree, and she educates and entertains her guests. Now, this was a fireside chat. This was the last evening we were there. And what she does is she interweaves her Indigenous knowledge with her drumming and her singing. And so it was quite a cool night that night. So we were all sitting around the fire. It was really moving. It's just a very short video, but I want you to pay attention to the end of the video. Again, it's dark. The quality of the video is not the greatest, but listen to her laugh at the end of the video. It's just so heartwarming, and it just shows you the kind of person that she is. Okay, so what was really wonderful about this experience was that Matricia was very open and very honest. And so she really wanted to connect with the people that were there. And she told stories of her mother being in a residential school, and then she opened it up for questions. So it was a very raw and open experience. I think that, I mean, it sells out. This experience sells out all the time. Your clients want to engage in these First Nations experiences. 1 in 3 international guests are looking for an Indigenous experience. 1 in 4 Canadian guests are looking for an Indigenous experience. So if you're not adding these to your itineraries, you're missing out, and your clients are missing out on just incredible experience. So give me 1 second to jump to my next slide. I keep losing my arrow, I apologize. Okay, so these flat sheets are attached and they will be sent out afterwards. I mentioned the West Edmonton Mall Tropical Getaway. If you've got clients you think that, you know, normally go down south and can't do the quarantine and want to just get away for a few days or even a week long, there's enough stuff to do for a week. Do a few days at West Edmonton Mall, head out to Jasper and spend a few days there as well. We've got a package with Jasper included in it, and some Canadian Rockies packages as well. So we'll be sending those out to you. Now, excuse me. We always have a recipe, of course. So we have elk meatloaf. And you know how I said in the food tour it was elk steak? It was actually elk meatloaf that I had. And it was absolutely delicious. If you don't have access to elk, I'm pretty sure you can use ground beef and other things. But it was really, really yummy. So here's a recipe for that. We'll be sending the recipe out as well. Now, I'm going to put the questions on the screen now. Here are the questions. Again, if you missed them and you need a hint, my email address is there. So you can send me a note. And I'm going to quickly go to the questions here. 1 second. And see, there's a few questions here. Do you see foresee any Canadian FAMs coming? Absolutely, we see FAMs coming. The moment that we're able to, we've actually even been working with some of our partners to put together FAMs. At one point, before COVID started to rise again, we had a FAM that we were going to move forward with. It was going to be a self-drive FAM where you would be in your own car and everyone would be social distancing. And we're going to look into that as soon as we can. I know that we're going through a bump right now, but as I mentioned earlier, there's lots of hopeful things on the horizon. So yes, we do foresee Canadian FAMs because we want you to experience it. I do believe that Edmonton does still have Klondike Days, Cheryl. Yes, they do. I just don't know the details of it for this year for COVID, but I'm pretty sure online we'll be able to find out for sure if it's going through. Suzanne's asking about the Dinosaur Museum Park from Edmonton or Calgary. I'm assuming that you mean the Royal Museum which would be in Drumheller, and that's about an hour and a half east of Calgary. So from Edmonton, I think it's at least 3 hours, but I can get back to you on that as well, Suzanne. Glennis, is West Edmonton Mall a good option for families? Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh, for March break, perfect. And I don't think that it's full yet. So it's a great option. I'm telling you, when I showed this to a little kid, this little girl was just like, I need to be there. So don't look at it and think, oh, you know, it's not for me. Don't think about for your own experience. Think about your clients. Look for those families who it might be geared towards. What do veggie people eat? Oh, that's a good question, because I did do an elk recipe. Oh, you know what, Suzanne? Send me an email and I bet you I can get you a great vegetarian or vegan recipe from Jasper, because I'm sure there's vegan options and vegetarian options. The food tour, no, they don't rotate the restaurants. They actually use the same four as far as I know, but they're the best of the restaurants in town. So I can even, if you want names of them later, I can let you know, because they were all fantastic. There will be a link to this video that will be sent out. So Tara had asked if we'll be sending the recording out. Yes, we will. So anyone who's looking for that, and you know what, you can share this with your clients if you want. I mean, there's a little bit of talk about travel agents, but I will be sending it out to you. You can share it with your clients. There was 4 stops on the food tour, Bridget, 4 stops. So, and the town I was born in, well, it starts with an E. Let me give you that hint. If you send me an email, I will let you know, Belinda. Great, West Edmonton Mall, make sure I covered all of these. The lake, there's a dinosaur park north of Edmonton. Is that Brooks maybe? I'm not sure if that's Brooks, but if I don't answer your questions right now, if I missed anything, I will definitely get back to you. I know Pip was on the chat. There's lots of chats going on. Let me just see if I pull this up. Let's see here. If you miss anything, send me a note. Don't worry, I will help you. One of the things too that I've seen some comments here is people have made comments about the fact that there's some, you know, the photos with the blue water, and in the summertime, the water is spectacular. You get those tropical blue colors. So yes, you don't see that in the wintertime necessarily, but you get that magical drippy icing feeling on the trees of the snow. So it's a great destination for all season, absolutely. Now let me quickly jump back here. Hopefully you can see those questions. The lake we were canoeing on, that was Pyramid Lake. That was Pyramid Lake. Okay. I think we've probably come to the ends of it. If I've missed any of your questions or comments, it's please, the video will be ready next week. If you have comments, if you want to see more of this, please let us know. I cannot thank you enough, not only for showing up today. We had 141 guests on this happy hour today, which is amazing. We truly love you guys. We love the support you're giving us, and we are here for you. We are ready to just get back and booking like crazy. And we're going to do another happy hour. We might miss, because these take a little bit more time. They might not be every 2 weeks regularly, because we need to get out there and we're going to try and do some really creative things to keep you guys engaged. So thank you to all of you, to Explore Edmonton, to Tourism Jasper, and to all of the support, and to Pip, who's my right-hand woman, for all she does to put these together for us, and to Jai Mukherjee, my VP, who came along and videotaped. I hope you enjoyed this experience, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Thanks so much.